Hey, welcome. Hello. This is Chuck Van. It's good to see you. And I think we're live. Hello, everyone. It's been a minute, I think, since I've done any kind of live stream. So it's good to be back. If you're not watching this live, I've got no idea who is actually doing that, but sometimes with my favorite YouTubers, I will, if I miss the live stream, kind of watch the whole thing back. I know I always do that with L-Stackers if I miss them, and usually, the big snowboard YouTubers as well. So if you are watching this after the fact, thank you very much. Tell me how much you liked it, and feel free to follow in the chat in the comment section. I will reply to every single comment that ever gets made. So I guess today there's a couple of things I would like to discuss. But first, let's get into some shout outs. I can see some people in the chat. First and foremost, you may have noticed the background is slightly different. I've actually flipped things around with the setup a little bit today. So actually, can someone just tell me, first of all, how is the audio and the video? Can everyone hear me properly? That part of it hasn't changed, so it should be okay. But in any case, you're actually seeing the reverse view of what normally you would be seeing behind me in my office. So I thought I'd switch things up. You can see the snowboards in the background and a few other things. So I can see, thank you, Adventurer Carlo. He's telling me that the audio is great, as is Adam Searles. So speaking of which, first comment in the chat, we're not surprised, was L-Stacker Adventures. Catman Snow is saying that he's got to go to bed. I know it's fairly late over in Sweden and Europe, so I understand. Adventurer Carlo, thank you for joining us. Saying good night to Catman Snow. Adam Searles is here. It's good to have you, man. So if you see my eyes kind of darting off down in this direction, it's because that's where I'm reading the comments from. Let's see. Adventure Carlo saying hello. We've got Kerry Pierce on the chat. We've got Luke Hayes. Good to see you, Luke. Kerry, I hope all is well up there in the FNQ, the far north Queensland. Who else have we got? I think that's it for now. How's everyone doing? What are you up to today? Where are you watching from? Even though I pretty much know where most of you are watching from, but it's always good to kind of see in the chat and everyone kind of get to know each other. Adam Searles is preparing for liftoff. Paul Hogan for the win. I'm not much of a Paul Hogan impressionist, but I do have a respect for the man's work. So I grew up on those Crocodile Dundee movies, and they were so awesome. And for the younger people in the chat, if you don't know about Crocodile Dundee, I suggest you look up. They're quite old movies at this point, but definitely well worth watching. And an interesting, almost accurate, but as well kind of really overdone Aussie culture representation. Ventura Carlo says he's doing good and he's getting ready to do night snowboarding tomorrow. That sounds exciting. Very exciting. So I hope you have a good time. I wish night snowboarding is one of the most fun things I think I've ever done, honestly. So I've had the opportunity to do night snowboarding in a couple of different places. I've done it at Falls Creek in Victoria in Australia. It's not a very there's only really one run that they have open. I actually haven't done it at Perisher. They only have lights on the front section at Perisher, so it's not a very long run. Maybe that's, and most of the time that I go to Perisher, like we're there all day, and we've got a bit of a drive back to where we're staying. So we've just never stayed for the night. We've always been pretty pretty tired by the end of the day. But I had the immense pleasure to do night riding in Niseko, Japan, and obviously there's other places probably that do it, but that was the absolute dream. Probably the most fun snowboarding I've ever done is the night riding session in Niseko. So have fun, man. I hope to experience one day the night riding at Bogus Basin, Boise, Idaho. That would be amazing. Adam Searles, quite rightly, actually I'll just go up to another comment first, else, because both of these comments are kind of linked. Surf, skate, ride or die films of America. Thank you for joining. Good to have you here. And it's asking, is anyone down to urban snowboard in Australia? That would be a difficult thing to do, but has been done, and I have seen it. Particularly sometime, because most of the resorts in Australia are like pretty far away from urban environments. They're like up in the mountains, and there's not many towns up there. And usually the towns that are at the base are below way below the freezing level. So it rarely snows. But there have been freak storms, and I've seen a lot of urban riding go down in Jindabyne in New South Wales when it does snow there. It's rare, but it does happen. So, and I'm not aware of Taj Burrow. I'll have to look him up. So, yes, we've got a couple of comments. L Stacker Adventures says, nice shirt. Obviously, L Stacker Stacking. I'm wearing his shirt right now. And probably the first topic of the live stream is what's in the thumbnail, and it's this bucket hat here, which links to Adam Searles' comment, bucket hats for life. I totally agree. And I've got a bucket hat right here that's got the L Stacker Adventures logo. It's bright green. It's very L Stacker, I've got to admit. And actually, this, believe it or not, was a gift from the man himself, L Stacker Adventures. We were having a chat, and just over text, and he said, "Hey, what would you think about an L Stacker bucket hat?" And I thought, "Wow, that would be really awesome. Can I have one of those, please?" And I believe this is like the first and maybe only one of these, is it? Elle can say in the comments, but I'm pretty sure this is the only one of these that exists. So I feel very humbled and honored to have it. And it was meant to be a Christmas present, but I received it well after Christmas. I think he placed the order like in late December sometime. It might have even been early December, and I didn't get the hat until like mid-January. But I'm so stoked for it. I really like it. It's my second favorite bucket hat. My first favorite has got to be my Snowboard Pro Camp one. I really enjoy that, but it's actually a pretty solid bucket hat, nice and floppy as usual. It's got it doesn't have the vent holes, but it's got the mesh inlay lining. It's quite comfortable on the melon and pretty stylish too. I love the potato artwork on it. So what do you guys think of the brand new bucket hat? Thank you, L Stacker Adventures. What have I missed? Ventura Carla. Oh, we've got LH Cool Breeze in the chat. G'day, Cool Breeze. Lindsay, good to see you. I've got to watch. You've been snowboarding recently. I saw that you dropped a video. I haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet. I was going to do that before the live stream, but I ran out of time. So I'm going to watch your video later, but just went he's just saying he just went night riding in North Carolina, and I think that's where TJ's from. Is it not North Carolina? But which mountain did you ride at? That's awesome. And like I said, sorry I haven't seen the video yet, but I dare say you'll be getting a view and a comment from me later on. Kerry Pierce says, is anyone going to New Zealand night riding Coronet Peak? I would love to go to New Zealand. In fact, very recently I've been engaged in conversations around a potential New Zealand trip. I don't personally know 100% if I'm going to be able to make an NZ trip go down this year, just because I've got some other commitments and things that I'm going to be dumping a fair bit of money into. But I would love to go, and if there's the opportunity to do like a meetup, like of some friends in the community that are going to New Zealand, it would be very difficult for me to not to try and make that happen. So I would love to go, and I hear that the night riding at Coronet Peak is amazing. They've got like, it's a really big lit up area. There's several chairlifts, and it would be the absolute dream to go there. It's difficult for New Zealand though, because like none of the resorts there are on like any of the big passes, like the Epic Pass, Icon, you know, the Mountain Collective Pass. You've got to like get a separate pass to go to those resorts. But I think there's a couple of them are linked. Is it Coronet Peak and the Remarkables or something like that? You can get a pass that works at both. But I'd love to go to New Zealand. Never actually went. I live in Australia. Never been snowboarding in New Zealand. I'd love to though. So Kerry, if you've got anything planned, send me a message. I'd love to know when those dates are. Okay, Surfskate asking if North Carolina gets good snow. I've heard that it's been pretty, I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm guessing, I think it's been pretty dry, honestly, over the East Coast. Although they got a storm recently, I think. In the last week, I think they have had a big storm, which is awesome. El Stacker says, "Yo, I'm right back at you, dude." Surf Skate or Die says, "Yeah, Stacker 2K subs. We need is." I was about to say we need that to be a thing. Has he reached 2K yet? We need to find this out, like right now. What is going on? Oh no. Off screen, there's all kinds of ruckus going on. I should probably know this already. Oh, so close. 1.92k subs, El Stacker Adventures. Let's go. If anyone here in the chat, which I'd be surprised if there is anyone, has not yet subscribed to El Stacker Adventures, give the guy a follow. We're getting him. He's on the road to 2K. We need to get that to happen. As random things going on in the background here, you should see what's going on just like to the side and behind this whole situation. Cable management. It's an absolute mess. Before I go any further, I know a lot of people love the live streams I do that are like the up late and saucy ones. So happens that I have the day off today, and I know it's kind of like midday here. Well, it's just gone 1 p.m. So it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere, right? But I don't have to get up super early tomorrow, so I think we're going to make this one a little saucy. Just a little. I'll share a beer with you guys at least. If you don't drink beer, then you can have like a soda or water. Water for the neck is good too. I've got to be really careful like pouring these. Last time I tried to pour one of these, it was an absolute disaster. It turned into a milkshake. Almost there. Let's go. What time is it where everyone's watching? That's what I want to know. Alright. Not too much of a milkshake. So, and it's an easy hazy that I'm drinking right now. Shout out to Bolter for making really nice beer. This video is not sponsored by Bolter Breweries. I think I've seen, yeah, Bad Riders is in the chat. G'day, Adam. I didn't know whether you'd be able to make it this early or not, but glad to have you here. Thanks for joining. We've got some hat love here. So Kerry Pierce is laughing about the potato. Surfskate says that it's tight, the hat. Surfskate said, Chuck, you just got another sub. Thank you, my man. I much appreciate that. In fact, just while we're talking about subs, I looked this morning, and actually I didn't even realize that it's funny how like YouTubers say we, as if I guess it's kind of rude to say me this and I and all that stuff. So they refer to themselves as a collective, as a team, and it's a community, I guess. So like really this channel, like my channel, it's obviously me that's doing all the videos and everything, but there'd be no point in me doing any videos if there wasn't anyone that was stoked on them. But to be honest, I probably still would be putting videos up anyway because I do it for me and my memories, but I'm stoked that other people watch. Anyway, my point is that everyone always says we collectively, and I guess I love including that. But yeah, I was looking, and we were this morning, we reached over 120 subs. We're at 121. So Surfskate, if you've just subbed, then we'll be at 122. I'm really stoked about that. Thank you everyone for supporting me. I never thought anyone would ever watch any of my videos for any reason except for me and my friends, because that's kind of what it's about, is like preserving memories for me so that I can look back on them later, and so that my friends can say, hey, remember that trip when Swanee fell over ass backwards and slid down the hill? That happened in a recent video. It's pretty funny. But no, a lot of love for the hat. SSR or DF of A. I don't know what that means. I believe that these are places in the East Coast of America, I think. Cool Breeze. I know NC stands for North Carolina. I don't know what any of that other stuff means. So, Bad Riders says a Blue Wrench squad, woohoo. And I've got quite a few Blue Wrenches now. And notably, Swanee is not among them yet. For those of you who are watching our live stream on New Year's Eve, there was a whole thing that went down about Swanee not being the wrench, and I refused to bestow the wrench upon him until such time as he posts a video, and a video that has substance. So I know he's filmed stuff. He just needs to put it together and upload it. And if it gets the tick of approval, then I may bestow him with the wrench, as is what I said I would do. Beach Mountain. Okay, that's where Cool Breeze has gone. So Kerry Pierce is asking, is that one of Max's drawings? Are you talking about the potato? Because if you are, then yes, it was one of Max's drawings. In fact, he doesn't really talk about it much, but there was a bunch of us that got to get that. If you've ever seen El Stacker's like video intro, the one where the potato comes flying across the screen, that was a bit of a collaboration between a couple of us in the community, and Max did the drawing, like the artwork. Swanee actually did a lot of the animation for that. There was the music came from Bad Riders, the sound effects and the final editing and stuff I actually did. So and we sent it to him, and he was so stoked on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is one of Max's artwork. Let's see. Surfskate asking how long are the seasons in North Carolina. Cool Breeze has been snowboarding there since 1985. Adam Searle says 1985 was a good year. Why was it a good year? Was that the year that you were born? So I hardly remember 1985. I was alive. It's about as much of a clue to my age as what I'm going to give you. But yes, I was alive then, and but not for long enough to know whether it was how good the year was exactly. I do recall like slight bits of it, maybe. I was pretty young though. Adventurer Carlo wants the Blue Wrench. Ah, dear. I know. Everyone wants the Blue Wrench. I don't want every single person in here to have that, though. It's a lot of responsibility to have the power. Maybe one day, Carlo. If when I get to know you a bit better. Let's see. Adam Searle says The Crocodile Dundee was released in 1986, but it was filmed in 1985. Ah, that's some trivia around the years. It all links back to 1985. Also, one of the pivotal dates from the Back to the Future movies, or pivotal like years. What was the date? Was it March 8th or 9th of March 1985? 1918? I can't remember. It's a good movie though. Luke Hayes, Swanee for the Blue Wrench. I just love teasing him about it. If anyone has been following me for any length of time, I'm just going to adjust the frame here so the stacker is easier to be seen. But if anyone's been following me for any length of time, they know that one of my favorite things to do is to tease and make fun of Swanee. It might be a little bit mean, but he loves it. He kind of sort of complains. He goes, "Oh, I'm just comic relief in your videos, aren't I?" And then, but I know that deep down he quite enjoys it. Kerry Pierce talking about Coronet Peak and the Remarkables. Actually, that brings me to one of the other things is a Swanee update. So I think it's always an interesting question. Where is Swanee? Because sometimes he's here in the chat. Sometimes he's here in the chat making really strange requests. And some of you already know what that's about. But Swanee sometimes just appears in the chat, not actually in person, and ask Chuck to do random things. Anyway, Swanee is out. So we're probably not going to see... Actually, Swanee's out having a few beers as well with one of our mutual friends. So I don't expect to see him. But if he does jump in the chat, I'm sure he'll have something to say. But we all love Swanee, don't we? But do we love him enough for the Blue Wrench? Who knows? So we're going to... So far, I'm not anywhere near the bottom of this chat, so I'm going to just keep doing the Q&A. There's a couple of things I want to discuss. So getting a new hat. I want to talk about my Hero 8. Oh my God, what happened to my Hero 8? If you'll see in the... some of you already know, but if you'll see in the title of this video, my Hero 8 is no more, essentially. And I'm very sad. But we'll get to that a little bit later. You guys can guess what might have happened to it. What have we got? Yeah, Coronet Peak, Remarkables, and Mount Hutt are on the same pass. I was about to say that, Kerry. Mount Hutt is like way further north in New Zealand. And they call it Mount Shut because all you need is the slightest bit of bad weather and that place shuts down. There's no chairlifts running. So it's really notorious for that. I can see that Kenny is in here. If I scroll down a little bit, I think. Have I missed your comment, Kenny? There it is. Yo, Chucky brah. Sorry I'm late, still working, driving to Zamboni across floors tonight. I don't know what half of that means, where Zamboni is, but I know you're a Utah person, so... and once again, where is everyone watching from? I would like to know. Some people have already told me the time zone. Surf Skate says that it's 4:20 everywhere all the time. I think that's more referring to beer drinking time, and I agree. But yeah, we're going to hang out. Like I said, I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. The hat, the GoPro, update with the vans and what's happening with the vans. Not Vans shoes, but my Chuck van, the actual car, or cars, because there's two of them. Or there's more than two cars, actually, but that's a whole other problem. But yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to be on here for about an hour, maybe a little bit more, to see how the chat's going. If it's popping off and everyone's having fun, then I might stay a little bit longer. Or the beer counter. So I've got this hazy ale, and there's another hazy ale sitting here. So whichever happens first. No, it's good to see you, Kenny. I'm happy for you stopping by. I don't mind that you're late. Anyone can come and go at any time. Bad Rider says congrats to Swanee's twin, Clayton. So if you guys have seen some of my videos, you may have seen, so I think you would have seen in the Japan trip videos that are out now, that Swanee has an identical twin, and they're not that identical. Like, they look similar. I don't know, maybe just because I've known them both for so long, I can very, very easily tell the difference. But yeah, they're identical twins. Swanee and Twinny, or Clayton and Lachlan. So Swanee's twin, Clayton, has recently got some good news that he and his partner are going to be having a little baby boy. And he was so stoked that it was a boy. He was going to be happy if it was a girl, but he kind of wanted a boy, because he's already way outnumbered. Like, there's already 3 girls there in the family. But not only that, but in like a month's time, what day is it now? Yeah, a little over a month's time, he's going to be getting married. So that's really exciting for them. I can't wait for that to happen. So yes, congratulations to Twinny. Although I don't know if he's ever going to see this, but you might actually see him pop on a live stream. And we'll talk about the future of live streams as well, at least for the next kind of month or two. Let's see. Adam Searles, that 2K thumbnail's gonna be sick, El Stacker. Dude, like, I wish I had a thumbnail guy. I am my thumbnail guy. And actually, I am proud of some of my thumbnails. I know are like rubbish. Others, like, it's funny that some of them even have like little joke Easter eggs in them, that, because like it's YouTube, so usually the thumbnail is so small and there's like minor details that I know people can't see, that I still put in anyway because it makes me laugh so much. Particularly, what was it? It was the video when I went to go pick up the new van. That thumbnail has like a really minute detail in it that I'm still laughing about today. Some of actually, Bad Riders now knows what this is, because I showed him a blown up, like a enlarged version of that thumbnail recently. He really liked it, but I'd like, if you guys can see what it is, then I'd be stoked. Comment on the video. Whoa, it says Surf Skate. So I'm kind of up and down this chat. So I'll try and I want to get to everyone's like comments and questions. So I've read that one. Adam Searles has a cocktail glass. Cheers to you, my friend. That is a really nice beer. You'll buy that more often. El Stacker says, here's some potatoes from Idaho. Absolutely. Let's get some potatoes in the chat. Let's go. Cool Breeze says that it's 9 p.m. over there. Yep, I figured it was kind of starting to get late. And I am conscious I don't want to go too late because I know this is American Friday night and Saturday afternoon in Australia. So I'm very much aware that El Stacker goes live on these Friday nights as well. So we're totally repping El Stacker today. So I don't want to impinge upon his live stream time as well. So, but we've still got plenty of live stream left to go here. Cool Breeze is drinking the wine of the South. That sounds nice. What kind of wine? I'm not a huge wino, but I know a little bit about wine. Well, actually, some of you would know. Actually, I know. I'm not a huge wine drinker, but I'm required to know a bit about wine, particularly Australian and New Zealand wines. But because in one of my exploits, actually work, have been known to work on occasion at a what do you guys call it? A liquor store. Yeah. Spent a few years doing that in my day, and I've had to recommend a few wines. Let's see. Adventurer Carlo says that it's 7:18 in Boise. I believe it would be 7:35 now, and 9:35 in Waterloo, Canada. Luke Hayes is saying it's the same time as me. Well, that's because you're in Sydney, bro. Is it Sydney or the Central Coast? I'm not even sure. Adam Sell says, congratulations, Chuck. Next step, 200. Yeah, I'd be stoked. I really would be stoked. It's been a long time just kind of sitting, like, I think I was at 50 or 60 subscribers for a long time. And then all of a sudden it just kind of jumped. Interestingly enough, that jump coincided with me starting to release more regular videos. Who'd have thought? Oh dear. Bad Rider says that's a lot of El Stacker merch. Yeah, it's almost overdoing it. But I love to support El Stacker. I love everything that he does. And he's an inspiration to me, honestly. So, and I don't know where he is in the chat, but he's here. He's there. He's here somewhere. I've seen him just drop a comment. But no, I love everything he does, and I want to encourage him to keep doing it because a lot of people out there are stoked on what he does, and just the kind of guy that he is. Totally positive outlook on everything. I really hope to spend. I've had the good fortune of meeting him, and would like to very much like to spend more time with him whenever that opportunity arises. Luke is saying hi to Kenny, and he loves Zamboni. So cool. Someone needs to tell me what that is. I've got no idea. Is it a place? Is it a fast food chain? I'm not sure. El Stacker's cleaning up at work. That's where he is. Okay. Carlo is stoked for Swanee. Why are you stoked for Swanee? Is that because he's drinking beer? I'll be stoked when Swanee drops a video. Actually, there is a Swanee update, which only applies to someone who's not in this chat. So, actually, I might not say it, but Swanee Brews actually sent some beer to someone, and I was absolutely rapt about that. But that person's not on the chat, and sometimes he does drop in though, so maybe we'll see him later. El Stacker says that's awesome. I don't know what you're referring to, but I have said there are some things that I think are awesome that are going on right now. So that's awesome. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Kenny on board. I call my sit-down warehouse floor scrubber a Zamboni as well. I'm really confused about this whole Zamboni thing. Oh, did I just see Coglio Nose in the chat? Hey man, how are you? Long time no see, no speak. I know Coglio Nose is a fellow stoker. I know where are you situated? I know you're in the Americas somewhere. But no, it's sick to have you here, man. I know that one day, like yonks ago, Coglio Nose and I were like doing messages backwards and forwards and trying to like come up with some way that the YouTube like community, or the snowboard YouTuber community, because there's a lot of us that go in between all the different channels, can interact outside of live streams. And that was kind of one of the reasons why I started doing live streams actually, so that we all could have like a more low-key time and place to chat. But I know we were looking at different apps that we could get people to join and stuff and all that, and it kind of never came together, never came to fruition. But I have thought that, I mean, Discord would be the perfect platform. I know Buckhouse has a Discord and Tommy Bennett has a Discord, but someone should start a general Discord. In fact, I know there's been talk from the DWCP of starting a Discord. Well, actually, technically they already have, it's just not public. And it doesn't really get used. So maybe we could like open that up and just need some people to administrate it, honestly. And that way the conversation and the chat can continue indefinitely. That would be really sick. I don't know. Coglio, maybe I'll look into that. I'll add that to my list. I've got a lot of things on my plate. There's lots of potatoes in the chat. We love to see it. Bad Rider says that we need to discuss your last vid, Chuck. So are you talking about the vid of the van? Oh, it has to be. It has to be that video. What would you like to discuss about it? So it probably, that kind of dovetails into, Maddox Stearns, or Starnes. Thank you for coming to the chat. It's good to see you. Coglio's in North Central Indiana. Okay, cool. I think I can picture. That's like in the center-ish. I don't know, my US geography is awful. But yes, Bad Riders. We can discuss that last video. So it was a bit all over the place. I didn't really know when I was filming it exactly the video I wanted to make. And then when I was editing it, I was like, I probably should have added a few things for context. But it ended up turning into, it was meant to be just an update of what I'm doing with my with my van. And the new van build. So for those who don't know, I had this really crappy, have this crappy old like van, a camper van. Well, it's not a camper van exactly. I turned it into a van. It's an old Toyota Hiace, a 1998 model. It's full of rust, and I've used it a bunch to do like trips down to the snow and the mountains, and it was so much fun. I built like a bed. In fact, you can see just behind me here a part of the frame for the bed for that van that I built myself with my own two hands. And I am a really shit carpenter. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I managed to build something that's pretty sturdy. Actually, it was probably too sturdy and too heavy, but that's a whole other thing. Recently, if you've seen, there's a video on my channel. I bought a not brand new, but a much newer Toyota Hiace. This one's a turbo diesel. It's a 2013 model. It's so much better than the old one that's probably not going to pass registration. Well, actually, I know it's not going to. It shouldn't have passed registration last year. It's only because I've got a good relationship with my mechanic that it did. So that van's going to be scrapped. And the video that I posted was basically me just starting to strip some stuff off that old van for the new van. So namely the roof racks and the solar panel had to come off. So those things will be installed on the new van eventually. But right now, the update on the van series is, we'll go watch the video, because what that is kind of an update of where I'm at in terms of, the build of the new van has not basically started yet. I'm just stripping the old one down, but I took the opportunity to give you guys a bit of a tour of the old van and why I'm getting rid of it. Some of the things that I had installed in that van, the power system. So if you're interested in that, then the video is mostly me talking and a few time lapses. So if you enjoy that, then it might be a good video to watch if you haven't seen it already. But probably the next stage of the van series will actually be to like at the moment there's not much happening, because the new van is now at the mechanics. It's getting a thing called a catch can put in, and that's a thing that's gonna help catch all of the crap that builds up in the diesel motor, help the oil stay in better condition. I'm going to get way more miles out of the motor and just keep it in like better condition. The thing that's going to happen after that is probably rust proofing. So I'm going to do like a whole everything's going to be fish oiled, and I'm just going to make sure that rust does not become an issue, particularly before I start building things like the floor and all of that. I want to just make sure that everything is like got a good rust resistant or protective coating on it. So and a lot of that I'm not going to do myself. So and also I need to get the secondary battery wired up correctly to the crank battery on the new van. So that way the power system, the secondary battery charges while the van is driving, until I can get the solar panel hooked up, because that involves drilling a hole in the roof, and I'm a bit sketch about that. So, and I don't know exactly where I'm going to put the panel yet. So anyway, that's the van update. Adam, I hope that answers your question, sort of. What? Adam says, you know what, Chuck? Oh, Decepticons. So the van, my picture on Instagram and in the video showed the old van that has a Autobots sticker on the front, depicting the fact that if my car was one or the other, it would be an Autobot, not a Decepticon. Adam is clearly a Decepticon fan, and all I'm going to say is Autobots, roll out. And that's it. That's it. Autobots for life, my friend. That's where I'm at. Adam Searles is dropping some knowledge on me. A Zamboni is a machine that's used on a hockey rink. It's like an oversized lawnmower. Oh, it resurfaces the ice. Okay, right. Makes sense. Totally makes sense. I actually have seen... I've seen the Mighty Ducks. I know, I've seen those machines. I know what's going on. Very nice beer. Okay, so thank you for that. I'm upskilling not only do I get something out of these live streams, like fun, also I learn valuable information. Coglio Nose says that you're doing a better job than me. Life been stupid busy for me lately. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to have you here, and I can understand. Life is busy. Being an adult is difficult, and we can't all just make a living making snowboard videos. As much as I would love that to be the case, I don't think that's a long-term realistic goal for me, but I love doing what I do. I wish I could spend more time actually on my YouTube, but it's at the end of the day, it's a hobby, and I'm stoked that you guys are stoked on it, and I'm going to keep doing it. So as long as you guys are patient with me and how Like I drop videos like randomly. I think the last live stream I did was New Year's Eve, so you know, I was, or there might have been one since then, but my live streams are not are very really random. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. Usually I try and give a couple of hours notice. But you guys are great. So I mean, like I said, I'm going to keep doing it regardless. But I get you, man. I work 2 jobs, and I do this as a hobby. I put as much time in as I can. So. And I know that there's a bunch of people on here that have their own channels and make videos as well, and I like to watch you guys too, and I'm sure you can understand as well. Like you know, life, you've got priorities in life, and sometimes YouTube isn't the first one. Adam Searle says there's an overhead drone shot of a Zamboni in one of his recent videos from Whistler. Sweet. There's a few of those videos I've got to catch up on, actually, Adam. So I'm keen to do that. So I know you've had some sick drone shots. Carter Kemp says, "Vor red." Are you a bot? I think you are a bot. But thank you for your support, Carter Kemp, if you're not a bot. Maddox says, "Sorry, I haven't been up to speed with the live streams. Glad to be here, though." That's totally okay, man. Like I said, I'm glad to have all of you here. Thank you everyone for watching. And what's happening with you, Maddox? Have you been snowboarding? I don't think I've seen a video from you recently, so but I'd be hyped to see one. I think I saw you in one of El Stacker's videos, maybe recently, or one of Carlo's videos. I can't remember, but no, I hope you're doing well, man. Actually, last I heard, I think you had a pretty gnarly injury from a coming off your skateboard. Are you okay? I hope you're okay and suitably healed, and I hope that you've been ripping on the mountain. And I just lost my spot in the chat. No, I think I found it. Adam Searle says that oh yeah, there's a bit of talk about the Wonder Years Volume 5. I think we all want to see that. We've got Shred 1904 just dropped in the chat. G'day Narav, it's good to see you. It's good to see all of you. I keep saying that over and over again, but I really do appreciate all the viewership. Yeah, and I know Adam Searle's knee has come, or maybe not 100%, but it's come good. It's much better. So if you guys haven't seen, there's one of Chris Ayers' videos. Adam was riding with Chris and Brent, I think it was, and Adam had a gnarly, like I've never seen a tomahawk like that, his knee like blew up like a balloon, and walking was difficult for him for a while, so it's good to see he's on the mend. I think he's back home now in Waterloo, so I'm stoked that you're feeling better. A little bummed for you that trip probably didn't go the way you wanted it to, but mate, you'll be back on snow. I know you will. Much love and good wishes to you and all of you. Adam's talking about it. Says it was tough for a while. Yeah, we were just talking about that, with the injury lingering, and now it's getting some strength back. Yeah, hopefully you get to some of your local mountains soon. I'll come back to the chat that I was up to recently. I just want to address some of the comments in the bottom. So Shred 1904 says awesome bucket hat. Yeah. I told the story a little earlier, but this was my Christmas present from El Stacker. He was on a website creating it, and I actually had some creative input into it, choosing, the color scheme and the orientation of the graphic a little bit. Because green's my favorite color as well. But yeah, it's a sick bucket hat. I do like my SPC one better. It's slightly larger for a bigger melon, but this is like a more secure fit. But still a good bucket hat regardless. But no, and actually, I was chatting with your brother earlier. You guys are having the sickest trip ever. I'm so stoked for the power. I just watched Kevin's video this morning. Um, the tame dog, let's go. I bet you guys were tired after that session because I saw how steep that drop was that you guys were launching off, and hiking back up that would have sucked. Doing it as many times as you would have had to get those clips. Who was filming? Actually, no, I know it was you. It was you filming. Actually, no, you sent a little bit too, but I'm pretty sure I saw Yannick going, yeah, sending off there. But thank you for getting the shots. We appreciate you. You guys don't get enough shout outs, in my opinion. And we've got Robert Fowler in the chat. Thanks for joining. Kenny on board says he needs power. Pow, 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 pow. We all need it. You think you need it, bro? It's summer over here. We've had, it's been like in the like 30 plus degree days, 30 to 35 every day, except for the last couple of days it rained. And for those of you who are American and work on the weird Fahrenheit system, that's like between 85 and 90 degrees like every day Fahrenheit over here. It's been pretty warm. Narav saying that both twins were filming. Yeah, I thought I saw you go off. I definitely saw Yannick as well. So, but nah, you guys are doing a great job filming those videos. GoPro 10 and iPhone and Samsung. Yeah, wow. A whole mix of different footage. I've got a Galaxy FE20, and it makes some pretty sick footage. I'm gonna use that more often actually when I don't have my camera. Actually, this is probably now the time to talk about that. Robert Fowler says, congrats on the new hat. I spoke about that a lot earlier. It was my Christmas present from El Stacker, and he's an absolute legend. So I'm just seeing some funny comments from Bad Riders. Oh, the New Year's live stream, hashtag Hatgate. Yeah, I lost my SPC bucket hat, and it took me literally 3 weeks to find it, and it was in the most obvious place. Oh my god. Anyway, bots are people too sometimes. Yeah. And Bad Riders is like completely obsessed with these GoPro Enduro batteries. Everything that he says, everything he's thinking about is these Enduro batteries. I'm sure we'll get a good review on them soon. I'm sure there's good reviews out there now. Like, people have got them. So, there you go. No 360 cameras. Well, could be a reason for that. I know you love your 360 cameras, but I don't know. I've never used one. So I guess I hear those in glass houses should not throw stones, or those who don't know what they're talking about shouldn't be dissing them. But I've never used one, and I'd have no interest in using one anytime soon. It just sounds like every 360 camera. Like I give it a year's time, maybe I'll change my mind. But every 360 camera I've ever seen has had awful audio. Like, you can tell the difference, and it just, from what I've heard about what it takes to work with that footage, it just sounds like too much work for me. I know Adam's gonna have some passionate things to say in rebuttal to my comments just now, but the stabilization is probably the only thing that's good. And like the Hero 10 stabilization, from what I've seen, is pretty amazing. Maddox, so we're launching into a whole tirade about cameras now. We're getting into a debate. I'd prefer not to have that ensue. But yeah, Maddox is with me. He doesn't understand the 360 thing. And that's what I was just talking about, the stabilization and all of that the 360 gives you. I think there's, I mean, let's be real. I think there's a place for 360 footage, and I think it does look sick. But I don't think, I think it should be used sparingly. So if I had one, I would probably film maybe one run, or like use it for B-roll. That's where I think it's great. For like, if you're on a chairlift, you can just stick that thing up there and you get a whole 360 view. I think you can stick your arm out the window of a car and get a much better perspective of like a time lapse running up, like driving up a mountain or something. I think for those kinds of things, I know Kevin's used them to have awesome like gondola shots. That's where I think they're best used, is B-roll, personally. But then again, I've never worked with one, and when I get the opportunity for someone to show me how it actually works, then maybe I'll be converted. But that, and I don't need to have like as many cameras as you do. Luke Hayes says, Bad Riders, give us a review on the new batteries. He hasn't got them yet. That's why he wants to know. But talking about GoPros, that's a really good kind of segue into what happened to the Hero 8. This thing right here. Well, as you can see, it's still intact, right? So, and if I was to grab a battery, throw it in, whoop, battery in, oh, powering off. Why are you doing that? Don't you know we're on a live stream? Hero 8. Oh my god. In any case, oh, hang on. Are we powering back on? Oh, here we go. It's telling me that I need to update. It's because the battery hasn't been in it for ages. Okay. Yeah, there we are. We're on. Now, the problem is, and you guys probably can't see this, but it's telling me that there is no SD card. The reason why there's no SD card is because, well, literally there isn't an SD card in it. But, I don't know. I know Adam Searles has experienced this, but I had my batteries sitting inside the GoPro for a period of time, and I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should just take the battery out when I'm not using the camera for a while. But what happened was the battery swelled up, like it buffed out. It became really fat, and the battery was like that and inside the camera body. And as you know, if you've got a GoPro, that there is a little tab here that you can grab and pull the battery out. Well, it was squeezed so tightly in there that when I tugged on this little tab, this little tab absolutely just disconnected. It just ripped the whole back case off the battery. It was in there so tight, and I couldn't get the battery out. Well, you can see that I did eventually get the battery out, but when I did get the battery out finally, I used some, let's call them unorthodox tools and methods to extract the battery from the body of the camera. And when I did that and tried to put the SD card back in it, you will know that when you push an SD card down into a GoPro camera, that it will just click into place. Well, the little mechanism in there that clicks it in, I obviously busted it when I was trying to get that battery out, and it just bang, bang, and it just bounced back up at me, and so the camera doesn't detect the SD card, and therefore I cannot use the camera. I've had it. I can use it maybe as a webcam, I guess, but I have had it looked at to a camera shop, and those of you who know anything about GoPros will also know that these things are basically a unibody design, and because this is an older model, if I was to send it back to GoPro would say, well, that's not wear and tear. That's not any damage that was any fault of the camera. That was because you destroyed it. So yeah, and even if all of that is all one piece, so even if they could fix it, it probably would cost the same as buying a new camera anyway. So long story short, RIP Hero 8. Oh dear. So and I've since found out, and actually I've got Robert Fowler who's in the chat right now, who actually informed me of this. But I've had a couple of GoPro batteries recently. So these blue colored ones that go like in the models 8 and below, or between 8 and 5, I think. They swell and get fat when they've become chemically depleted. So when the battery has just had enough and can't charge anymore, instead of the battery overheating and exploding, they get fat. So if you're experiencing any swelling in your GoPro batteries, my advice is to throw that battery away. Do not put it back in your camera. Learn from my mistakes. Do not do what Chuck does. Alright, so let's see. While I was on that tirade, Carlo says that he's great live stream, Chuck, and he's saying good night, and same with everyone else. See you later, Carlo. Good to have you here. We're gonna so we've gone 1 hour. I'm gonna go for a little bit longer, and then I'll yield the floor. I don't know. I think I saw El Stacker said he's just leaving work, so he's not gonna have a live stream for a little while yet. Probably at least half hour, an hour. Hey, I'm going to read a few of your comments, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about this GoPro situation. So, oh, so many comments about the 360 cameras. Coglio Knows is saying that he's just finally got the first real dump of snow in his area. Awesome. About a foot worth. Kind of disappointing. Any snow is good snow, my friend. Bad Rider says he's got 2 Enduro batteries sitting in his desk right now. Yeah, we need a review from you, man. I think we talked about this. You need to do like a time lapse, like in the freezer or something. See how long they last. Like put them like in with the frozen peas. Let's get a frozen pea time lapse. That'd be sick. Or having water freeze or something. Bad Riders, are those batteries any good? The idea seems cool, but are they worth the price? I guess we'll find out. Bad Rider saying he uses his Max and Insta360 cameras on his bikes, jet ski and snowboard. That he hasn't opened the package yet. But he agrees with Maddox. He's used another three on the way, set me up for winter. Oh yeah. So he's getting some of those Enduro batteries ready for winter. And Maddox Stearns wants Bad Riders to keep us all updated. We all do about that. I know where it tends to be something that we skew towards here is I know that there's a lot of us that like kind of filming, and we're all like at different levels of camera nerds and use GoPros in our videos and stuff. So it's to some people it's probably not an interesting conversation, but to us, or to me at least, it is. Yeah, the Insta360, yes. The 1X, I know the 2X or the X2 is out. That'd be a cool shot. Rob Fowler says he's hanging out for the successor to the GoPro Max. Well, did GoPro? I'm pretty sure GoPro didn't make an announcement exactly, but they did say that they wanted to release more cameras, like cameras that are not so much a do-it-all like the GoPro, like cameras that are targeted for specific kinds of filming and specific kinds of customers. So should be interesting to see how that develops. Rob Fowler says that he thinks having a 360 camera and GoPro would be ideal for a snowboarding trip. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think like you could use both. If you could afford to have both cameras, or if you've got a friend that has one and you have the other. Yeah, Adam's saying that too. So what I thought, always take your batteries. So Adam Searle says, always take your batteries out of your devices. We're not using them, drones, GoPros. Yeah, I usually do that, but on this occasion I didn't. I think it's because I was lazy. I thought I was going to be filming something, and I left the battery in because I didn't want the GoPro to lose like the date and time settings. But I could have just connected it to the app and it would have done it within 5 seconds. So that's a better way of doing it for sure. Adam also says use separate chargers instead of charging the batteries inside the device. Yeah, I do that too, actually. I don't think I have ever charged either my GoPro batteries or the batteries in my Canon ever in the camera. I don't think I've ever done that. So, not the best way. So, a couple of people, Bad Riders is laughing. He's saying unorthodox tools. That was my way of saying that I prized that battery out of the GoPro using 2 butter knives. Probably not the best approach, Chuck. But anyway, the battery came out. Yeah, the batteries did get swollen. Bad Riders are saying Discord later, Chuck. I'd say yes. That is a good possibility after this live stream. After I've went and got something to eat, probably. All right, but we're nearly 1 beer down. LH Coolbree says later, Gator. Maddox Starn says the batteries got jacked. In his opinion. Oh, laughing. Yeah, they definitely got jacked. In more ways than one, that's for sure. Cogliano said that he had a phone battery do the swelling thing. I actually had this. It's no, and you're right. It's not a good sign. I actually had that happen on a laptop. I noticed that my little laptop that I take, what's probably except for the last video that came on the channel, which was the one for the van tour and update. Every other video that's ever been done on my channel has either been edited, or most of them. Some of the 1 or 2 were edited on my phone, but most of them were edited on my Dell XPS 13. And at one time, the battery of that did the swelling thing, and actually I could feel it. Like as I was typing on the keyboard, the buttons didn't quite push down. It's like they were being pressed up from the bottom. And I actually had to get a Dell technician to come out, and he pulled it apart and said, "Dude, this battery, I've never seen one like this." And I'm glad that I came when I did, because that is not what it's supposed to do. The battery was just swollen up, and he changed it, still under warranty. So I was pretty stoked on that, honestly. So now that computer still runs now, but yeah. Rob Fowler saying that the Hero 8 should be my dedicated live stream camera. that would be a challenge. Just with the way that I do my live streams, because I am not, I don't have 1,000 subs, so I kind of have to use like a streaming platform. So anyway, the live streams that you see are always done through my phone and a third-party app. And the camera on my phone is actually pretty good. It's so much better than my my laptop. That's a really awful camera in my laptop. So, but we're watching through my the front-facing camera of my of what is it? Samsung Galaxy FE20, and it goes all right. Bad Rider says, does the camera... Oh, hang on, did I miss that? Maddox Starn says a non-action camera GoPro would be sick. Yeah, well, I think that's exactly what they're trying to make. They have not released anything, except I read the article on Google the other day from someone at GoPro saying that they're going to make different kinds of cameras. So that's not necessarily, that uses the same tech that they've developed for the GoPros, but is targeted potentially at a different market. So I'm curious. Looks like we've had another strange bot. Thank you to my moderators for actually handling that for me. I appreciate it. Up late and what's going on? L Stacker is driving to the hot tub, so we're going to be up late and saucy with L Stacker because we're up lunchtime and saucy with Chuck. Is it going to be a saucy day? We will find out in about an hour, probably. All right. Robert Fowler says, have a good one, Chuck. He says he's out. Good to have you here. And have a good day. I hope you're out doing something fun. Probably going e-skating or hanging out with the GF. I'm not sure. Kerry Pierce says that she knows more about cameras than she needs to from us. You never know when it'll come in handy. Yeah, it's just been I knew nothing about cameras like a couple of years ago, and it just from playing around with the GoPros, like you pick things up. But I'm glad that you got something out of it, Kerry. And who knows, maybe your holiday videos will, because you guys have got GoPros, don't you? I'm sure you and Ivan will do clips, or do you just use your phones? Elstacker says that he's heard that YouTube changed the rules and you can stream with only 100 subscribers. Maybe you should try it again. That is true. You can do that through the YouTube app. But well, actually, no, that would work. Because I'd need to connect. I don't know. It means I have to download the app from GoPro that allows. It's so boring. I'm not even going to go into the whole process. But I think I could make that work. Yes. And Rob Fowler's not here anymore, but I might try it in another live stream. So, so Bad Riders is talking about the future NZ trip for when it happens, and the camera knowledge coming in handy. And Kerry says that she's just booked for the 10th of September, just after night riding ends. Still have a GoPro 7, good enough for us. The Hero 7 was an excellent camera. In fact, in the 8, all they really did was they made the stabilization, like there was a bit of a jump between the stabilization of the 7 to the 8, but the trade-off was battery life. So I think you could film in higher resolutions on the 8 and than the 7 and higher frame rates. But other than that, I mean, in some ways, the 7 was a better camera than the 8, honestly. So if I had to choose, I probably would have got a 7 over the 8 now that I've had them. But that kind of comes to what I'm going to do about the Hero 8. So yes, this 8 is probably going to be used maybe as a webcam. That's the only thing it's good for now, because I can't actually record footage onto it. But so for those who have just joined us and don't know, this thing is just a paperweight now, because I had an issue with getting a battery out of it, and I broke the SD card slot. So if I had an announcement for this live stream, the announcement would be, I have pulled the trigger and I've purchased a GoPro Hero 10. So I haven't got it yet, and I'm hoping that I'll have my hands on it probably in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I've pulled the trigger on the 10, and with it I've gotten a bunch of accessories. So I've gotten a couple of extra batteries, and two of those batteries are the enduro batteries. So bad riders. I might even do like a test and review on those batteries as well. I've also got the max lens mod, so to improve the field of view. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped to try the Hero 10. I think that it's going to be an excellent camera, and I'm looking forward to doing some test recording with it. Probably that test will probably be some videos of one wheeling, because who knows when I'm going to be on snow again. But I'm really keen to try it out in the snow as well. So El Stacker just got to the gym, and we've got another random comment that's just come up. Bad Rider says, GoPro ships quick, Chuck. You'll have it in a couple of weeks, if not sooner. Yeah, we'll see. I know GoPro ships quick. I actually ordered the Hero 10, so I had a look online, and there were a bunch of options, but I actually could get a much better deal buying from GoPro USA than GoPro Australia website. So I had to convert into dollars, but they had this really good deal. So I actually got this GoPro 10 bundle and got it shipped. So through the US website, doing a few little dodgy things, but not really that dodgy. Some friends helped me out, but in any case, I'll be getting a Hero 10, and because it's got a ship from America, who knows how long it's going to take. But in any case, we'll see when I get it. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we've so far been live for around about an hour and 18 minutes. We've got maybe a little bit left in my pint here. This has been an awesome stream. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I don't want to stay on too long. I'd like to clear the way a little bit for the Stacker, because I know that he's going to be doing a live stream today as well, or tonight, wherever you are. But I'd just like to once again give a shout out to all of you who support me, and I have a lot of fun doing these live streams, and I hope you find them, if nothing else, amusing. I think I'm gonna just call it there, but a big shout out to everyone who joined me. I think we got up to nearly 10 people in the chat at one stage. There was at least 8 people that were watching it at different times. But shout out to El Stacker Adventures, Catman Snow, Adventurer Carlo, Adam Searles, Luke Hayes, Kerry Pierce. We had Surfskate or Die Films of America. We've had, who else has been in here? Bad Riders, LH Cool Breeze. Who else? Who did I miss? I'm sure I've missed someone. Coglio knows. Kenny on board. You guys are all legends. Love to see all of you in the chat. We've had Shred 1904. Maddox Starnes. Thank you, everyone. And a couple of bots that have random names like so shout out to you as well. But I'm gonna probably, we've been on for an hour and 20. Probably a good time to end it. So thank you so much. Be excellent to each other, and I'll see you guys in another video, hopefully soon. Ciao.